like a blonde chick and a black chick, and they were all like really pretty. And then like Scott Pendleton, like they would all have to go to work and make enough money for the house and like keep their moods up and stuff. And then like I was trying to like get him to have like babies with like 3 different people in the house at the same time, but they had to be like outside of the house because it was like a reality show. And then like when I would have to make room for like one of them to have a kid with Scott Pendleton, he was like this douchey like.
He's like the Chad.
Alright,
like,
and we're on.
And like, yeah.
Scott Pendleton's the Chad.
And like I would give him like different traits and shit. He had like commitment issues and like I don't know. But
You can fuck with their lives, basically.
And then like they had, well, I don't know. Kids, you couldn't really like dictate whether their kids would be good looking or not, and then you wouldn't have any room for like anyone else in the house, and like I already had to get rid of the chicks when they didn't make enough money. It would be like a competition, or if they pissed me off, like if they were just being too much to deal with, I would just like get them out of the house. But you can't like kick the kids out of the house. So like I drowned them. I drowned
in
one
a
in
pool.
the pool, and yeah, and then legally she wouldn't get with Scott anymore and have another kid. Like every time I would be like trying for a baby, they would just get really sad and like.
I'm trying to do euthanasia here, people.
No. After that, I was like, damn.
Alright, and we're on.
Eugenics and euthanasia.
This is the Genuine Podcast, and I'm here today with my co-host,
I would also just like copy like Trailer Park Boys,
and
so I like did like this like.
Today we are gonna be talking about the sadistic shit you can do in video games, and more, etc.
Like, cheated on her husband with a gay dude.
Oh wow.
And her husband was like Dale Gribble. Dale Gribble.
Nah, I never really played The Sims. I know you can do some weird shit in that game though. Like my
You know Dale Gribble from King of the Hill.
Yeah, I know Dale Gribble.
Yeah, that's who I would make the husband like.
And you made him like Dale Gribble?
And then yeah, and I would make the wife like Lucy from Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah, you have no idea the amount of fucked up shit you can do in The Sims.
And then like I would make her like cheat on him with like a gay dude, and then like she would like get in a fight with the black dude that the gay like big ass dude was cheating on her with. He was cheating on her, and she was cheating on her husband with him, but he was cheating on her with the black dude.
Didn't you also make like a sim that was basically a complete incel, fat fuck loser? Like
No, the fat fuck was the dude that was living in his house. Well, no, this was the people I was talking about. He was living in the like incel's house, like, or no, this dude, he had like a wife, and she had the fat dude like living in his house. He looked like a fat trucker, like biker dude, and then the dude was like Dale Gribble, and he was like living in the house and like doing his wife, but he didn't know he was doing his wife. And then like
so basically she was cocking him.
Cheated on her with this like little hood black dude that was like, yeah, I don't know.
I think that's all just fucked up the parts of your mind. Like, do you think about this shit a lot?
She got mad because the other dude cheated on her.
Do you like think about this shit a lot? Like just the only way.
I played The Sims like the normal way because I just really loved The Sims when I was little, and like also I used to be able to do cooler stuff. Like Sims Castaways is the best. I didn't do anything fucked up in that, but like yeah, I just played it like normal. I would like oh, I'm sorry, I'm really high. I would get like the jobs and like get to the mansion and like make their life perfect, and then like when you finish like and you get to the mansion and they have like the best job and like you have everything, you already bought everything, you're just like, wow, I'm really bored now. You just like going to work again, and they already have the best house. So because
once you finish it, you're bored, and then you need Because it's like, I'm guessing at that time you only really played that one game.
Yeah, that's kind of what led me to believe that we're in a simulation and that like.
Yeah, I mean.
Got like that, like we already did everything and had the perfect life, and then you're like, well, let's put it on random. Because if you ever play a video game on God mode, it's like, I don't know, it's like boring.
Yeah, I mean,
You want to be able to die.
yeah, like,
You don't like have
because there's
any
no
threat of
interest.
death. Yeah, you're just like smashing stuff, and you're like, wow.
Like if I knew that if I would have known that I wasn't die, I'd probably kill myself over again, over and over again.
Yeah, and then you just get bored. You wouldn't, like, if you were like a god and you were already satisfied and like you could have anything at the snap of a
All you'd
finger,
want to see is have war.
you would
Probably all
be
that's.
like,
And then eventually, after a million years of war, you'd be so bored that you'd probably just go
or if
live a
you were
normal
like
life.
at complete peace and like
Yeah.
nothing, like you needed nothing, you were just like floating through the universe like a fucking thing that's like just chilling, but then you get kind of bored. You'd be like,
And then from that boredom, you can make up a game that you forget that you were ever bored. And here we are.
yeah, it's like that Alan Watts like
Yeah.
fucking hippie shit.
It's exactly like that.
Like-
Existentialist, like,
You could dream whatever you want every night. You would dream like the most awesome dreams at first, and then you dream everything that you'd ever wanted to do. And then once you did everything that you ever wanted to do, you'd be like, let's just put it on a random mode, and like.
because I'm bored and I want to forget that I know and I am everything and you're bored. You are everything that ever was, will be, and has been, and you're bored. So you have to then forget.
That was like the most stoner shit I've ever heard. And you're bored. But yeah, basically just like that's like the simulation theory. There's actually a lot of people that we're just a simulation.
Then it would make sense why all this stuff happens. If you had reached, like, boom, I unlocked Trump, I got a good economy going, I fucking got everything going, I'm doing really good in this civilization game, man, I'm bored. Oh, I can destroy everything with a coronavirus update. Fuck yeah.
The coronavirus update, oh man.
Or like your enemies are
Get the
just your
coronavirus
friends.
expansion.
Your enemies are just your friends, like when you're playing Mortal Kombat
Yeah.
and you're playing against your friend and they're like, I'm fucking you up, I'm killing you, dude.
Dude, I ripped out your spine and I killed your whole family.
Yeah.
And then
I murdered your whole country.
you lived for years with the guilt of it after you killed me.
I pwned you.
Oh, you faggot! Yeah, it's like you literally meet the guy that like raped your wife in front of you and murders your whole family.
He's like, dude, you gotta
You know, it was your best friend the whole time.
I griefed you so hard, faggot! I griefed you.
It's like a video game that like it's like so submersive that you don't even realize it. Like, because you care about like your life and your health and the game you play. So like, imagine if you
Yeah, imagine
had
if
the
you played this
illusion
game like
that
that.
was your only life. Like you didn't know what the fuck happened
Yeah.
when you like when it's game over. Like you hadn't, but like the gods that are playing your character know what happens when it's game over, so they're not worried because they're like, oh, you know, like they're already there.
They'll just turn the game off and put in another game, and it'll be as simple as like, oh, I deleted the file, I deleted the save.
And then there's like NPC people.
Play a new playthrough. But to us,
yeah,
it's
what
like,
that's what this is.
it's goddamn
New Game
traumatic.
Plus. That's why whenever you remember stuff, you're like, I feel like I've been here before, and it's like, that's because you forgot that you were playing New Game Plus.
Yeah. And then some gods want to play the game on hard mode. Some gods want to play the game on easy.
Or it could be a scenario where the kid got bored of the game long ago, and this is just running, and he's fucking is either dead or he went off to become an omnipotent god, or like he's just not playing it anymore, and that's why everything's falling apart.
People that are like AI.
Can you imagine though, if you played this game like you actually play other games, like you're like in Skyrim, like you're like, I want to get the best outfits, I want to get all my stuff for my character, I want to be the best adventurer, I want to be really cool. But in this game, it's like everything just falls away, and you're like, why would I fucking give a fuck about my job? Why would I want to get more perks? Why would I want to get a bigger bank account? Why would?
It's funny how like you are so motivated to like get a house and just be a contributing member of society in Skyrim.
In a video game? Yeah.
But like, you know, you're like, this is hard work.
This isn't fun. This isn't novel.
Like, if
Yeah.
you like engage more,
In games, yeah, it's like that's
Dude,
just
I'm
what.
fucking paying taxes.
Like,
Oh, that's so cool. It's so
remember,
immersive.
like, the little checkout registers you would play with as a kid in the
Yeah.
little grocery carts? Those were so cool.
They're training you to
It
be
was so cool,
an
though,
adult.
to play with. It was so fun.
Yeah.
Like, when it's a game out, like, a real thing. That'd be funny, like, the cashier.
If you ever
like,
saw the Goofy cartoon
into it.
where he worked in a factory putting together dolls that would just come by on a conveyor belt, I always wanted that job.
a conveyor belt, and then you watch that depressing ass, or you play that depressing ass game when you have that.
World. Why you don't know? In our real world, they found a huge sealed door in an ancient temple in Guam, and I was thinking like that's like a boss key in Zelda. But in our world, you don't want to probably open an ancient sealed door in an old temple because there's probably old diseases.
I still would. I mean, scientifically, get some hazmat used.
Like, man, it'd be so cool to have a game where like the thing is like you're not actually a hero with the shit you're doing. Like you open up a temple and it kills the nearby village. Like you get treasure out of the Bleak Falls Burrow, but it kills everybody in Whiterun because you unleashed a curse on the land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, well, no. As long as it's not in Markarth.
Hold up, I gotta check on the stream. So y'all,
You would always go to Markarth. You'd always go to Markarth, right?
Yeah, that place that's like a city and
Yeah.
like it's all rock.
Somebody's existence became like she gets murdered in every,
Well, she was the only one wearing Tavern clothes.
so she has to die.
Yeah.
That's a lovely hat. I hope you're not essential to the
Her
storyline.
dress was hot. It was cool. It was cute, and I was like, that's like.
That's like your defense
I
on the
would buy
stand.
the most expensive clothes in the stores, and it'd be like this giant robe. I look like a freaking.
Yeah. That's the one
Man,
thing that
fucking
I
wood.
noticed, like, as playing games with my sister, that's the one thing I noticed is, like, all of this shit, even when you play as a girl in a game, is designed by dudes. Because a lot of the fashion in Grand Theft Auto is like, who the fuck would wear that, and why would a jacket be so...
Yeah, they're like, just for a girl that doesn't want to look like a hoe. And
Yeah.
it looks like a freaking, like.
Or yeah, the majority of the
Lesbian
outfits in
soccer
Skyrim, you're like, it would look cool when you pick it up, but when you actually wear it, it's just that long, really frumpy dress.
Yeah, Skyrim. Sometimes it would look cool. But. And then, like, the cool ones. Well, there's like 3 cool ones. And you just get bored with them. Like those Indian chicks. Frost.
That's the one thing that games could take a page from Grand Theft Auto, like Elder Scrolls 6, which it's just gonna be always online garbage where you and your friends create the story probably. But Elder Scrolls 6 could be, imagine if you became such a badass bandit or like your own type of individual person out there making your own way, and you have all that gold, but eventually in every game you don't have anything to do with your money. But in a game like Grand Theft Auto, they make you feel like you're just a filthy rich fucking, just, you can buy whatever,
Did you
whenever,
ever play
all this
the-
shit.
Did you ever play the Heart?
No, that's still one thing of all the games of
Well,
like,
then that's basically like Grand Theft Auto, because you can get a house, and then you get like, you can make a fucking stand and put your armor on it, and then you kill like animals, and like for all the animals, like you go around the country and kill, you make like
Yeah.
like you make one of those like stuffed things, or like their heads, and you mount their heads on your wall.
there's so many,
And then your husband like stays at your house all the time, and is your like crack. He's like, I made you a pot, and you're like, did the store get any money? He's like, yeah, here it is. And you're like, thanks, babe. Okay, I'm gonna go trot across the globe again.
yeah, it's like you get these lives. That's a lot what would happen to me in The Sims, is that I would eventually be so set up that you're like, my character has a better life than I'll probably conceivably ever fucking live.
That is you. You are living their life.
Yeah,
Oh, maybe that's how the government is playing you.
like he wants to be
God,
you so
yeah,
bad and he
that
can't
God
be
must-
you.
You're like, I want to be God. You're like, oh,
And then God is like, I just wish I was these characters in this game, man. Fuck my life.
yeah. And you're like, damn, God, what did you do?
Oh God, we are fucked if it's like that. Like if you're like, wait, you want to be me,
Fuck.
and I'm wondering, and then he's like, it's the egg, and you're like, just shut the fuck.
It's like, yeah, man. Stuff is fucked up.
So in the game of Grand Theft Auto, it's like where you literally, if you take it that far, you're literally okay. So if it's a game and God wants to be us, then I can just run down to the
But
all
they've
subs,
also been
put the money in the
shot a lot.
fucking bag, and then
Would you want to be shot at?
if the cops, I mean, I'm gonna die for like however much is in the all subs till right now, probably like
Well, actually,
$1,000 maybe.
your life's not that much better than the guy in Grand Theft Auto because he has a very short lifespan.
I know, but he's got.
Like, imagine every time
Yeah,
you
if you
died,
think about every time that you
dies,
died, that
like,
was it.
twice a day.
Like you died. Like that's the funny thing always about Grand
The
Theft
way
Auto
that
is
they're
that
living.
it's this big social commentary and satire on Western civilization and like our society, but we have the best healthcare system ever in this universe. Like fucking utopic Bernie healthcare.
Utopia,
Healthcare for
like
everybody. You get hit by an RPG, you walking around
Yeah,
by the end of
maybe
the day.
that's
Forget
why
about it.
everyone loves Bernie, because they all play fucking Grand Theft Auto and they're like,
Yeah.
"Ooh."
If it was like Grand Theft Auto, I could get chased down by a fucking an Apache helicopter on the highway, crash my Bugatti, I'd be alive.
Yeah, that's real life, man. They put empowered women.
Yeah,
dude.
I ain't ever fucking scraped my knee, nigga. I'm fucking 9. Isn't that real life?
Their women are realistic.
I die. I rupture all my organs and fucking living my
Why is
best
there no
life.
jam on my face? What is this? And you're just like, I can't respawn.
It's funny that they made Trevor and Michael like bad dudes.
I mean, Franklin is just as much of a bad dude.
I mean, Trevor, I guess Frank.
It's just the way that I play him. Like he's more of like an innocent kid, but like he's just as much of a wretch. Everybody in Grand Theft Auto 5 is a terrible human being. Franklin was always my favorite character. That's how I realized like what was going on.
I need you to sabotage this
Because
ship's
they're like,
reactor.
you're gonna be everyone's favorite.
The reactor is a complex system. Start.
What is some sadistic stuff that you have done in
My
games,
intel
Ben?
suggests that-
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Cause there is like games, I don't know. Like, I guess in Skyrim, like, I feel like I haven't done that many sadistic things, but also it's cause, like, I haven't played
guys
many
just both
sadistic
belong here.
games.
I don't
Like,
play sadistic games. Sims isn't a sadistic game.
it is. Well, I don't know. I play games where you can't really do, like, sadistic shit, I guess. I don't know,
If
like I guess,
if you
like,
have enough
tying
imagination,
someone,
you
like,
can do
Gary's
sadistic
mod.
things in any game.
There was one game, actually, Gary's mod. If you've ever played that or heard of that, I was like, I
I know
would.
of Gary's mod. I've never played it because
Did
I
you
don't
ever
have a
kill a
PC.
woman with a train in Red Dead Redemption?
I haven't done it. I don't know. That was the one game that I was trying to like roleplay and shit. So it was like,
I don't
so it was
remember.
like when I was
Red
playing
Dead
it.
Redemption is easy to kill stuff because it's just Grand Theft Auto in the Old West. I mean, that's selling it short,
I
but
would
like
just save it
in
and then
essence,
just,
it
like,
is. Red Dead Redemption 2, I didn't senselessly murder anything because that game is like a period piece. It's the first ever and the last ever Grand Theft Auto game written by the Hauser brothers that was like
I didn't senselessly murder anything.
it wasn't like everybody in Grand Theft Auto 5, they're all just butts of the joke of social satire on Western civilization. But in Red Dead Redemption 2, they're all real people. They all have like they're not just they're not just all breaking the fourth wall to provide jokes about how fucked up the West was. Like it's all for the first time ever, more than any other Grand Theft Auto game, Red Dead Redemption 2 it just feels like a period piece. Like you're living in the Old West.
Yeah, like I didn't really feel like I had a need to because I felt like I was living there. Like,
Yeah, I didn't senselessly kill anyone. I was just like, why would I kill anyone? I'm so immersed right now. Isn't that kind of psychotic though? Imagine if you went through your day-to-day life like, I'm immersed right now. Why would I kill everyone right now? Like, that's
Yeah.
gamers are fucking. I'm immersed, dude. Why would I kill my boss? I'm immersed. He's screaming in my face. This is so immersive. It's like he's right there. And it won't go away. I'm not gonna kill him though, because this is so immersive.
I'm not gonna kill. I'm too immersed to kill.
Yeah. It's fucking weird. It's like, or in a game, you don't sit around doing things that damage or give you a negative buff on your character, you know, like an RPG, Ben.
Yeah.
You don't like do something that's like, oh, your character's gonna hit for less now, or you're gonna, your bars are gonna start dropping because now you have a debuff or you have a status effect on. It's like, but yet people will be like, I'm going to McDonald's every fucking week because it tastes so good, it's yummy and it makes me feel good. But like in a game, you don't feel it. You can't feel the thing that you're doing, so you can just treat it like, oh, I need a stim pack, boom, or I need a mushroom in Mario, or I need this thing in Zelda. But like, you're not addicted to that shit because your body doesn't feel it.
Yeah, but it's like when you feel it, it's different. Yo, that was cool. Fuck.
Everything, when you start looking at it as, because really, more than anything, that's why I think this generation and the people that will never realize it are the people that haven't played video games enough yet. It's like, that's why we look at everything like it's a game, because life is a fucking game, man. And I think more and more so, the people of this generation that don't have families of their own, you really start to look at it like, this is just a crazy fucking game.
Yeah.
You pretty much have to, because you're either going to, it's like a situation where you're either going to laugh or you're going to cry. Are you going to cry, fucking millennials? You're going to cry, Zoomers? It is.
Fucking, yeah, I mean...
It's that guy.
I'm too immersed that I won't stand up for myself.
Yeah, dude, I'm getting bullied right now. This is so immersive. I'm about to be evicted. You can be evicted in this game. I would lose my shit, dude. It's in a Grand Theft Auto. You gotta knock at the door online, and they were like, "Get out." You're like, "I'm fucking being evicted, dude." Like, there's a I would be like, I wouldn't even be able to speak. I'd be so immersed. I'd be like, "There's fucking landlords." Fuck. The cops are about to shoot me!
It's so realistic, dude. Like, I died and everyone had like a funeral for me. And
Dude, I got diabetes!
It's so fucking realistic.
Yeah. My fucking oh my god, my family's crying at my funeral. Wow!
My dog ran in the street, dude. Got ran over.
My dog, he died. I fucking actually care about this thing.
And all my characters like fucking going to the pound crying.
Dude, when I deleted
crazy.
talking about dogs in real life, dogs and Nintendogs are no joke, man. Do you ever play the game Nintendogs, Ben?
No, I haven't.
That game was the killer app of the DS in the beginning. It was like, you get the DS for Nintendogs. Fucking game on Nintendogs years ago as a boy. I got rid of the game. I sold it. I never reloaded it because it literally felt like my dogs just died. Like, all my dogs are fucking dead. Because when you restart the game, you get random dogs, and even if you don't, it was just like, those are my dogs, man! Like, and they were all...
When did Nintendogs come out? Probably.
Did you know Nintendogs was... You remember, Bailey, that we got... Didn't you get the Chihuahua and Friends, and then you got... Or I got... It was all a scam. All that was what it unlocked when you got the game. So if you got Chihuahua and Friends, the Chihuahua breeds were unlocked right from the moment you started the game. But it had the Dachshunds, it had the Dobermans, it had the Pinschers, it had fucking every dog breed was on every... It was like Nintendo just doing a grift.
Like one of the games.
So did I, but like, I always thought that, like, because I never played them enough, and I'm like, man, I always wanted the other dogs, but like, they were on every chip, they were on every cartridge.
They're just gray, like...
Imagine if you could, like, fucking sadistically torture your dog. Like...
I would never... That's how much even in a game...
Like, this is so realistic!
Where, like, in games where I can't shoot, like, my nephew Cody, we used to play Red Dead, and whenever, like, in Red Dead Redemption, a dog would walk up to you in the city, he would just blow its fucking brains out. Like, I can't do that. Like, I can't hurt animals, man. Like, especially in Red Dead Redemption 2, when you see those dogs, and there's nothing stopping you.
Die on your horse or it falls and you, like, skin
Yeah.
it.
Cody would just call Sara in there. He would call his mom in there and be like, "Mom, check this out." He would just unload a rifle into a horse at point blank range. She would just be like, "That is awful."
I think I killed my horse like once because my other horse was waiting for me, you know?
Yeah.
And like I was like, it was like if that horse died, a different horse would come. And it was like just I wanted a different looking horse. And I was just like, and I felt really bad afterwards. I was just like, okay.
That horse just died.
Boom, shot him in the head, and then I felt really bad. I was like, damn.
Yeah, isn't that the craziest thing where it's like, there is no, the agency of like, you can shoot that dog, you can,
I would kill a kid in
clip into
Skyrim
it.
though. I
Like-
wouldn't feel bad at all.
or the stray cats in Grand Theft Auto 5 in the campaign. For a lot of people that don't play online and they don't know all about all the, I don't know if they updated it and finally put all the stray animals and all the animals in the forest and everything online, but in the campaign there's now stray cats walking around and shit, and I've run them over before in an accident, and you feel terrible. You're like, oh my god, I just killed
What
it.
does that bitch ass kid say in Skyrim, the town?
Oh, that kid
I'm
that
the
you,
toughest kid in the town.
yeah, you can't kill him.
I bet you can't kick my ass.
Video games have yet to take me there
I
yet,
bet I
where it's
could
like,
beat the shit
you
out
see
of
this
you.
nerd stream?
Yeah, you're like
You
aiming
can
an
jump the
arrow at it.
fence, and you can go ham. On, like, you can just, you can drive a...
Damn, I just want to kill the ones that are little bastards.
No, like, it'd be a school, or it'd be like in Grand Theft Auto, like,
I just
you'd
wanna
be,
see it,
you
guys.
go to the neighborhood where there's the school.
You
and
go
just
inside the
fucking kill a
school.
bunch of kids, like, and if it truly let you,
Damn.
I would feel like, this is wrong,
The
I'm not
game
gonna do
could be
this.
called Pump
But
Up Kicks.
they'll never let me kill children, so I can never feel bad about it.
But then if they made a game like that, and then like a person played that game, and then like did
And then
do
killed
that,
kids.
they would like be like,
I don't feel
okay.
bad! I don't feel bad! And then they go,
It's not the game that made them do that. I play that game all the time. I do the same thing.
dude, I fucked up some elementary school kids.
I don't ever do that.
But no, if a game would let me stab a kid in the face, I'd feel bad about it. I wouldn't do it. But you need to let me do it, damn
Maybe
it!
once, just to see.
Just let me kill
There
your
is
kids!
that one game that you can stab. That murderer game. What's it called?
Hatred?
Hatred.
That game is like a big, ironic, tongue-in-cheek joke about how cringe guys like that are. Like, I am vain of your existence. Everything you know is a lie. God is an indifferent looking eye down upon the world as I will bring the vengeance to you and yours.
He's like Mojo Jojo.
Yeah, he's like just a fucking, he's a fag. He's like, the game is like saying the whole time about like, if you are this guy, kill yourself.
Mojo Jojo. I am Mojo Jojo, who is the,
Oh, Jojo,
and I will be doing this
going
thing,
to monologue,
which will be this.
tell you every part of my plan, which is not my plan, but it is my plan.
Mojo
For all
Jojo.
you Zoomers out there, you may not know who Mojo Jojo is, but you may because the internet makes all of our cultures. Zoomers are going to be the first ever
But you don't
generation
know the real
that gets to
Mojo
be in on
Jojo.
every goddamn joke.
You don't know the real Mojo
But you
Jojo.
don't know him.
The real Mojo Jojo. Like, there's this, like, one
Tower
the
online.
Powerpuff Girls are trying to stop him, and he's a monkey, and then, like, all these, like, activists are, like, they're like, wait right there, Mojo Jojo, and then they're all, like, this, like, activists with all these, like,
We are
protest banners and stuff, they're like, stop right there, Powerpuff Girls, and
Like
they're
SJWs
like,
before
yeah, Mojo
SJWs.
Jojo's like, I'm being oppressed, keeps getting away with, like,
We have lost
all this
control
crime
of the
and stuff,
tower.
and they're trying to kick his ass. And then, like, he just is like, I'm oppressed. I'm being oppressed.
Very ahead of its time. The most sadistic things I used to ever do in games, I find, in Grand Theft Auto 5,
We are in
if you
total
follow
control.
people around
Keep fighting.
and you listen to their phone conversations, you follow one guy around, you listen to his phone conversations for like a day in game time, and then you murder him in a secluded area, it really is like a serial killer.
Oh yeah. I have done
A
that
tier
before.
one
Like I
guy
just
if you
follow
have
people.
assault.
No.
Like sometimes I follow
Let's
people
follow-
around.
Dude, I killed the fucking kids.
The enemy
I mean,
in a tower. You
I,
must recapture.
I guess I probably don't have a soul. I'm a
You
genius.
have decoded.
You only have a red beard.
I'm a daywalker.
Back to their command.
So,
You
I
have
know.
like a red beard.
I have partially. So.
Look like what's that guy? Shawn Mendes. Yeah.
The enemy have deployed fierce reinforcements. Are you willing
Yeah,
to
you
stay
could
and
totally.
decode more
You should be
messages?
Shawn Mendes for Halloween. Just carry an acoustic guitar around and get like a little bit like put like that like some like red hair makeup.
I'm Soy Mendez.
Shawn Mendes get like some square ass glasses like he has. Yeah, keep it off.
Shawn Mendes.
The guy that sings Stitches and Treat You Better and...
You like that Irish looking dude?
Irish looking
Wait,
dude.
Shawn Mendes?
Wait,
Are we thinking of the wrong person?
I always get his name mixed up with like this other dude. No, wait, no,
Shawn Mendes is the guy that sings Treat You Better and...
no. Okay,
Okay.
who the fuck is?
It's Stitches,
It's the one that sings like
me tripping over
that song that's
myself.
like.
Bitch,
Don't
I'm
fuck with my love. The heart is so cold.
Sam Smith,
Oh wait, no. I guess he doesn't sing that song. I really don't know radio
Adam
music.
Levine.
No.
I don't know
what the
your kids'
fuck?
artists.
You don't look like Adam Levine. What the fuck is his name? What the fuck is this?
Oh my.
The kind of stuff that video games can let you do is the power of this medium, because there's no other medium that'll let you take these characters and be like, dude, I can murder my son. I can just stop the story dead and be like, can I shoot you
What
in the
song does
face?
he even sing? He sings that one about.
Like, oh, I'm done with this. I'm done with all of this.
Yeah. You can just...
What the fuck is that song?
That's why it gets so crazy as, like, in GTA 5, the more and more that everybody became detailed, just as detailed as you and the main character, you're like, it's kind of creepy that I can just walk up to this hooker right now and kill her. I noticed that GTA 5 made it much more human with what the hookers say after you fuck them and they get out of the car. Like, they'll be talking on the phone with their mom, like, hi mom, and like, if you kill them at that point, like, you really are a fucking, like, I can't. Like, I'm like, why the fuck? Because you're so
I
immersed,
murder
like,
them every
you
time.
really believe
There's a
It's
hooker
some
money
money.
glitch out where
no,
you
it's
kill a
not
hooker over and over again
Fuck is his
to make
name?
money.
Ed Sheeran?
Yeah, Ed Sheeran.
Yeah,
I was
no,
like,
they
yeah,
have
it's-
there's a hooker money glitch out, and it's like you kill a hooker over and over and over and over again.
And all you lose
Yeah,
is
and
your
then
soul.
just tell everyone when they're like, "Oh, I know who you are." You're like, "Yeah, I'm Shawn Mendes."
Dude, I read an article
You're
one
like, "No, you
time
look like Ed Sheeran."
years ago that it said that playing bad games could actually probably be bad for you, because the way that, like, but I mean, I guess that could be no different than watching horror movies or reading really. I mean, there is a ninth level of hell, and it's a million grandsons on a million infinite road trips with their grandmas as they listen to "He Fingered Her Tight Steaming Cunny" as John Strickler was
What
like,
the
and you're
fuck
like,
is that?
it's a fucking novella. It's porn. It's what every goddamn road trip descended into when I'd be on it with grandma and she'd be listening to a fucking, one of her romantic novels and she's like, her cunny was steaming hot as he thrust
It
her
would
up
play
against
that?
the
It would
bookshelf.
say that?
Yeah, and
Oh,
she's
yeah.
just
Yeah,
with a
sometimes-
straight fucking
One time
face.
me and, like, my friend were in the back seat and it said something like that. Like something
Yeah.
steamy and you're just like,
Her steaming cunt.
what the fuck?
Yeah. He's basically raping
Yeah,
her in
she's
broad
just
daylight in
chilling,
the
like-
garden.
Like, she's like, oh, I forgot this was a crazy book.
But it wasn't rape, because he was Lance Stone. Retired lawyer. Ex-CIA. Cop. It's like the most boomer shit ever, and you're just like, Grandma, like, this is porn.
Yeah,
this
she-
is pornography.
She went to the boardwalk.
Yeah.
Bed bugs.
Fucked her in the car. Like she'd never been fucked before.
She was like, aren't we trying to do this murder case?
Yeah.
What about the murder?
Fuck the murder. I got you. cunt.
But what if you were the murderer? You never know. You never know. She was like, aren't we trying to do this murder case? What about you chilling there and you're like, you're like, because it wouldn't be like those books where it's just straight like every fucking second different shit.
Yeah.
But like, just like they would just be doing like normal like old people stuff, like fucking talking about normal like boring shit.
Drew the curtains back, and she felt her punch start to throb.
Just randomly
She'd start
like
to rise.
once
He
a
was like,
month.
"What the fuck is, Grandma? You're a Christian."
Like, yo.
It's no different than the people that get into like those anime romance games where like you go around to school seeing how many girls you can fuck, and you're like one of those.
You're like, I would
cute-
love to have this guy's life.
Yeah, it's like I never play those games because I'm like, dude, why the fuck would I want to play some
No,
fantasy
like-
shit?
Like Grand Theft Auto, you
It's
just
like-
ran headfirst into a semi. Life is so much better than mine.
I know you start to always think that too, where you're like, yeah, I really don't want to be this character because it's like, yeah, you'd be dead, you'd be like fucking
You would
carefully
be-
take your fucking spine, just
That semi would drive over your head.
Everything
It's
would
like-
just be in. You'd just be in pain.
It would crush you. Your body would be gone.
and then ironically, if you survive, you would just be a vegetable, and they give you enough dexterity to still be able to play your video games, and then I would just be at the end of the movie, I'd be a vegetable inside this dark hotel room with the sunlight beaming through the curtains, and it's like, beep.
No, you'd just be squished, and then like people would come
As
and
I'm
they'd be
playing
like,
Grand Theft Auto
"Holy
again."
fuck!" and there'd be like a news
And I
story.
guarantee you, there'd still be some part of my brain that's like, "Clear yourself." Like when I'm like, I wish I was Link. I wish I was running for my goddamn life in the middle of the dark of night after I just ate mushrooms and rock salt that I cooked over a fucking fire, and I'm about to get beat the shit out of with swords and wooden weapons that these sentient lizards that live in the mountains. Like, fuck, that's...
While you're getting burned alive.
Yeah, well, there's bats that are on fire and they're coming from the trees, and you're like, what the fuck is that?
What about Skyrim?
Yeah, Skyrim, if you really think of Skyrim in the realistic sense, like, in one day,
But you
could
can
be...
heal yourself.
Well, think about how those potions probably taste.
Oh, and like we were talking like a long time ago about like your backstory. You're like, I'm a vampire slash dragon slash
yeah.
fucking werebear.
Archmage of the College of Winterhold.
Yeah, mage.
And I'm the
wizard,
chosen one, dude, and I'm the Dovahkiin, I'm the fucking...
And I'm like a fucking
I can speak dragon.
blade. I'm a blade, part of the Dark Brotherhood. The fucking
Yeah, if you really think about it in the terms of like a
sound
story...
like an emo kid.
It doesn't
like, You
work.
used to play a game with your friend, and you make your character like, no, bro, my character can
When you're,
fucking
like,
deflect
five.
your character's attack because my
Five.
character's a god, and he's
If it was
like
a movie-
werewolf.
If Skyrim was a movie, it would be
Yeah,
like,
people would walk the fuck out. People would be like, are they serious with this shit?
yeah, now they're gonna fucking be in the Dark
You'll never
Brotherhood.
defeat me because I am a werewolf, Dovahkiin, Dark Brotherhood, vampire, stealth assassin, big dick, fucking bad bitch, motherfucker,
Yeah.
wizard, fucking
Healing. What's like the hippie shit in there? Like the,
druid. I'm a fucking
Druid, Nord. Oh,
Medic.
fucking, I'm a Khajiit. That's also a
Ancient.
werewolf. That's a fucking vampire.
anti. Fuck, it's two brothers.
Like, you're a cat dragon.
It's called Two Brothers. It's literally the fucking.
I always
Two
wanted to become a
Brothers.
werebear. Have you ever seen the werebears?
Yeah.
Those are badass. I wanted to be one so bad and can't become one.
Or you're fucking.
Bullshit.
The whole that's also a thing of like that's what gets into the way of like when you really think of this is stupid, isn't it? That's like the cognitive dissonance of you as the player. It's like
And
whenever
you're
you
also
play
a mom and a business owner.
yeah, thief, business
Oh,
owner
a fucking blacksmith.
slash husband. I moonlight as a fucking Dark Brotherhood. I have a wife and a daughter, but I also have people who probably had wives and children and people that cared about them. I torture them. They're in the Dark Brotherhood's orders, and I'm a good person. I'm a hero.
While you are murdering every fucking person
I'm a
around
sick
you.
fuck.
Well, that's what I like about Skyrim, though. It like adds depth to your character. It's like
Yeah, you can
Dark
make your own
Brotherhood
death.
members can be mothers too, you know.
Yeah, it's like you have a secret life that
Dark
no one knows
Brotherhood
about.
have kids too, you know.
Yeah.
You can roleplay Grand Theft Auto like
Got
that.
a lot
Like
of
Franklin
kids.
can be. Franklin, I did a roleplay. I did a playthrough last time where like every time before I would go to meet Michael and Michael and Trevor, and he's like, "Yo, what's up, Mike? Yo, what's up, Frank?" Like I would have him living a complete alternate life. Like he's a a schizophrenic, and he's not even aware of the shit he's doing, like some secret window shit. So I would brutally murder a hooker, like stab her to death, and then set her on fire, and then dump her body into the sea, and then I would go meet Franklin. I would go meet Trevor and Michael, and it would just be like him, like, yo, Mike,
Like
you
some
crazy,
Memento
man.
Shit?
Yeah, like, and he's not even aware that he's doing this shit. He's just like, yo, Trevor, dog, you fucked up, man. And it's like, Franklin, you're a serial killer, like you're like basically Patrick Bateman, and you moonlight as like murdering people, and you don't even know it. I took that bitch home, murdered her on the fucking Venice Beach. She ain't even know it.
Video like that.
Just fucking murdering everybody, and then you're
Yeah,
still
you
the
can make-
hero. You're still
Or
worked
whenever
as a
she, like-
hero.
You find out that like, well, I can't kill my family inside the house, but if I walk out and then throw a grenade just as the door is closing, I can blow up the entire kitchen. Gamers get around it, man. You tell me I can't kill my son, I'll find a way.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I
And
know
then
how
they
to kill my whole
patch-
family in Grand Theft Auto.
and then they patch. And then they
Fucking they have
patch.
you like in real life, like on the court stand, like.
It's
I found
funny
out how to
too,
kill
'cause
my
when you
family.
kill
Don't you people
him-
understand how
'cause-
momentous this is?
Cause when you do kill your son, he just he texts you
supposed to be
later.
able to-
He's like, "You had to pay for my like, why
Yeah,
you
pay
hit
for
me?"
my medical bills.
You're like,
like,
"Why do
see,
you hit
dude,
me with the
healthcare-
RPG?"
Well, there's actually a theory, and I'll probably butcher it all to death, but there's a theory why the Grand Theft Auto games are so rampant crime and guns and fucking all this shit that happens in this universe is that it's actually set in a universe where FDR never signed the New Deal.
FDR never signed the New Deal.
Franklin Delano Roosevelt, but all I really know about the New Deal is the New Deal. And that's why the Green New Deal was called the Green New Deal, because it was like a reworking, a retooling.
I did my presidential report on Franklin Roosevelt. He had polio.
Polio.
That's all I know. That's all I remember. He was a really boring president. We just got random ones. We didn't get to pick our own.
Or like this, look at this.
Or like, I don't know, I forgot how it worked, but yeah.
This guy looks like Corey or somebody like, or Tory in their prime. And he's just standing outside on a nice sunny day, just
Another one
working
who
out.
did their president one on William Howard Taft because he actually got stuck in the bathtub.
That's all I know
He
about
was
how
so
William.
fat.
He's the only president that I remember because yeah, he was so fat he got stuck in a fucking bathtub. It's like, man, like you had to force yourself into that fucking thing.
Franklin Roosevelt just had polio. His wife was Eleanor Roosevelt. She was really ugly. She looked like she was ugly as fuck. I remember I was like, damn, my president sucks. His wife is a fucking man. And like,
His wife.
he's boring, he had polio. You're like Roosevelt, but like, everyone only gives a fuck about Teddy Theodore.
Nobody.
No, like, he did something with national parks and shit. He like camping a lot. That's why every bear is called a teddy bear. Because they got this bear and it was like, I forgot, he like saved a bear or some shit.
Yeah.
And like, then they named it after him and then they made bear dolls, like little stuffed bears, like, and they called them teddy bears.
And the meme stuck.
And then that's like, now that's just a teddy bear. You're like, what?
Yeah. No, it's just a teddy bear.
Like, but it was like a piece of Theodore Roosevelt merch. Damn, like, he is a fucking legend. His merch has gone the furthest of, like, any merch ever. Imagine, like, having, like, something that represents you, like a chance fucking owl or something, or a chance, like, thing.
Chance claw.
And then, like, after you're dead, like, people in China, they're like, hey, teddy bear, like, it's just like a thing.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a-
no one
it's
even
a-
knows
yeah,
who
what
the
the fuck
fuck
would that
you
even be,
are,
'cause
but, like,
Chance is already.
that's branding.
safe, and-
That is some branding shit. I
Yeah.
wonder if there's like some Jew shit behind teddy bears.
Sign up to my Patreon, Teddy Roosevelt. I should be dead. Get a teddy
Nice.
bear.
Dude, he didn't have to do shit.
If he came
just
back-
made a bear and we're like, it's a teddy bear.
He doesn't own the copyright to it though, so he'd be fucked. He'd just be a bum.
Valentine's Day, like,
He'd be like,
he's
I'm Teddy Roosevelt. I swear to God,
he would be like so fucking rich if he was still alive. He would be able to live forever off of teddy bear money. Like if he got royalties for all that shit, like
Nigga, that's
Valentine's
teddy bear money.
Day comes around, Christmas, any fucking
I got
For
that teddy
titties.
bear money.
Fucking, like, you buy teddy bears to put on your mom for your homecoming. You buy teddy bears to fucking give someone in a flower basket thing.
People have teddy
When they're
bears in
sick.
shops that they bought just to put in the shop to make it look more kiddish.
Anytime someone's in the hospital having a kid shit, they get like 50,000 teddy bears.
Teddy bears are at carnivals.
I wonder how much money
The teddy bear
bears
industry
make.
makes.
Like,
Big teddy bear.
yeah, we're looking this up. It's probably like half
It's a
the-
conspiracy!
It's probably like half get into like teddy bear shit.
It's all a conspiracy. There's no.
The teddy bears, it was like the teddy bears that were the Bilderbergs in fucking Bohemian Grove. There's like a teddy bear in
Do they
those
still
pictures
do
that Alex Jones
Bilderbergs?
got from Bohemian Grove.
This is like some Charlie shit. Like, I'm in the teddy bear business.
Pepe Silva. Who is Pepe Silva? Charlie, we're gonna lose
Bird
our
law.
jobs.
I wonder if there's like teddy bear law.
Nigga, on my teddy bear! For the... And the wars raged on, and the teddy bears...
Plush toys in the United States amounted
Took
to
over.
approximately 1.12 billion US dollars. But that doesn't.
My father was a teddy bear, you fuck!
Yep.
You kiss your teddy bear mother with that mouth, your teddy...
Fucking next thing you know,
I now
fucking.
pronounce you Teddy and Bear.
Damn.
It's like a whole universe of like, it's like a teddy bear Trump. Now we're getting into like Rick and Morty shit, where it'd be like a
Total
whole universe of
revenue
teddy bears.
Of global toy market.
It's Teddy collusion.
$90.4 billion is the toy. Just like that's how much people spend on toys a year.
Tonight on
Well,
Fluff.
90.4 billion. So that's
Instead of
almost
Fox,
$1 trillion.
It'd be Fluff News. Tonight on Fluff, we were
Damn.
talking about how rigged by teddy bears. This is unadulterated Teddy collusion, John. Just, we here in the studio, we cannot believe it. Yes, I am a talking teddy bear, Tim, and you have trouble believing this.
yep.
Back to you, Martha. Talking teddy bears. It's the... And then it like instantly like jumps the shark, and it's like we've now established that must have a teddy purge. Dude, a fucking game like the Purge would just be like Naughty Bear on like a GT. Oh my! I play that game, dude. Can you imagine? You ever play Naughty Bear? It was basically
No.
it was basically the Friday the 13th game before they made the Friday the 13th game. It was like a game where you played as a teddy bear, didn't get invited to the birthday party that the other bears were playing, and so you decided to systematically murder them all. And it has a bunch of references to Friday the 13th, and like the whole location was Camp Crystal Lake and shit, and you could, the more that you terrorized the bears before you killed them, you could get points for it. You eventually could kill them all to such a point where the main bear would commit suicide because you scared him so much. But it was all fluff. It was all like, you bash a bear's head in with the refrigerator, with the car door. Like, if they tried to escape, you could cut the brake lines on the car and then cut the lights off in the cabin and take out the phones, you know, like a horror movie and shit. And then they try to go and escape in the car, and you smash their head in the fucking door, but it was just fluff and, like, stuffing.
People spend $8 trillion a year on food.
8 trillion.
That has nothing to do with race.
And if were video game characters, would it make any of the sadistic stuff that we do to them matter? Like, would any of the
Do
games...
play a game as a teddy bear where you're a sadistic fuck.
That's what I was saying. I was going back around Naughty Bear. I talked about Naughty Bear for like the last...
Oh, I was looking at.
I kill teddy bears, I murder teddy bears, and I fucking
here.
rape them. I shove my
to chew
fucking.
bubblegum
You sound like a dog.
and kill teddy bears.
This is like a dog.
This
It's
is
a
like,
dog
yeah,
out of voice.
a dog is like, I'm a
Kill
badass
teddy
dude.
bears. I fucking murder them. And I rape them.
And then I defile their corpses.
Yeah, they do. They do. I've seen, like, especially little dogs sound like a chihuahua or something.
I am God.
I am God to these teddy bears.
They're all what, bitch? You're nothing.
I chew on these teddy bears.
Teddy bears ain't got nothing on me!
Like, imagine if, like, like all of them were like if everything like around you, like the walls speak, but yet it's like you can never hear them. Like, you know, like when you're on like psychedelics and it feels like the walls are talking to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what if that was the case and they're always just like, you sick fuck, and they're
Teddy
just like,
bears. I don't even fucking know anymore. We just went off on a whole goddamn tangent. Fucking teddy bear. Genuine podcast, folks.
genuine,
Episode 1.
just genuine.
Okay, what percentage of plush toys?
And if you could do this sick shit to get in video games and they were all teddy bears, it wouldn't even matter, is what we're saying, to bring it back around to video games. If GTA was a bunch of teddy bears, nobody would fucking play it.
Yeah,
If you could, like, run up and,
it
like,
was teddy
put the
bear
money in the bag, I'm
crime.
gonna get you Fluff. And then, like, you'd shoot him and Fluff would come out, or I mean, I'd play it.
Okay, so like, I looked up what percentage of stuffed animals are teddy bears, and then one of the things it says, what percentage of adults sleep with a stuffed animal? That's like a question a lot of people look up.
They're like, am I
Am
I
a
weird?
fucking bitch?
Do I need to grow up?
Am I a pussy? Like, that's funny. They're like on Google. Sent it to like try to be all smart.
How many 25-year-old guys actually
They're
own
like
a
looking
Nintendo
up the
Switch?
statistics of it, like straight.
Well, that's the whole fucking demographic.
They just like have a scientific study where they like have a bunch of test subjects come up. Do you sleep with a teddy bear?
How does it make you feel?
They're like, is this a real study?
Do you
or
find it comforting?
Does it make you feel like a pussy?
Are
like
you,
a bitch?
Do you think you're a faggot?
Do you really sleep with a teddy bear though?
Would you have
No,
sex
that's
with you?
another. That's a question. Do you really sleep with a teddy bear?
Yeah. Would you fuck you? Honestly.
Though? Are you single? How old are you?
I can't even.
Are you a girl?
Are you this? Are you that? Are you everything? Are you
Well,
a
it's a
god?
scientific study. They're like, well,
Imagine
you're assuming my
Grand
gender.
Theft Auto with the
I'm a
gore
fucking
mechanics
gender
from
fluid.
Last of Us 2. People would be probably disturbed, or we'd churn out a bunch of serial killer Ubermensch.
Well, I mean, you can't even kick someone in the balls, so it's like thinking about that is almost.
Based on that game.
No, in The Last of Us 2, like, have you seen the violence in that?
Have you?
If anything, I want to buy it because it looks like the most violent game I've ever fucking seen. Like, bullet holes, oozing blood, like, wounds, fucking cleaved flesh. It looks violent as fuck. And again,
Very.
they're not murder simulators. They're just... It's like what he said in the end of Scream. Movies don't make serial killers, they just make serial killers more creative.
HBO's making a show based on Last of Us.
Oh, that's cool. Hopefully they won't fuck it up. It could very easily just turn out to be a low-rent Walking Dead with, like, people are like, what are these clicker monsters, man? This is a Walking Dead ripoff.
But it's a mushroom, which would fit with coronavirus because it's like something like, oh, you can't stop it. It's not like just a zombie, it's like in the air.
It's everything. It's in the
Bro, I need to remind
clouds.
you what is out there.
I don't know if this is a real teaser trailer.
Fireflies, got that music going. See the whole...
Next thing you know, fucking. I mean, like, if you make any game, realistic, it's gonna be. I don't know. Some people don't like that immersion. Some people like the fact that it's a video game.
That's why a majority of people hate Grand Theft Auto 4. Because it went too realistic. They think
Yeah.
the majority of the missions are just boring, samey nonsense and garbage. If you were playing it to be like a Grand Theft Auto,
They
I
might
could
make
see
that, Ellie. It's like, why not
The chick
use
from Wolverine,
fucking-
Ellen Page.
No, that's not Ellen Page. That's what I mean. Why not use
Of course, Ellen
fucking
Page
Ellen
is young.
Page?
I mean, not young.
But still, come on. Oh, of course you're gonna use a Mexican.
any game been taken to being realistic.
And
Like if
Evil
I try to
Wife.
think about
I know.
what is like if you think about someone
Yeah,
that people
Hugh
really
Jackman.
like Minecraft. Minecraft is very dark.
Yeah,
But it's
cause
very chill.
oh yeah, no. What
It's like
I
that's
used to
chill.
do is I would make like torture chambers for the animals, and fucking
See,
I would
we're
just.
like asking you what you do dark in video
No,
games.
I wasn't thinking like I need to get to the topic, but yes, no, I've done some fucked up shit in Minecraft. I've made whole torture
Yeah, I was
chambers.
trying to bring it back around. I'm like, we're dying.
Like no, like I fucking
Yeah, you're
made
like,
whole
"What's this over
torture.
there?" It's like, we're on live, people. We on air.
I've made whole
Well,
torture
that's-
chambers. I've made whole torture chambers just to fucking
For
murder them in the
animals?
most.
You sick fuck for animals.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I saw this one thing.
You can do whatever you want to
meme.
people, man. I'll follow all the people around all the live long day, and I'll shoot them all in the back of the head twice. Animals, you don't kill animals.
Oh, I fucking hate animals. If I could kill some animals, I fucking would. I would have ripped them
Like
fucking
in real
limb
life,
from
you would
limb.
kill animals.
Well, you
Yes.
can. You just have to go up in the woods.
Yeah, go in the woods, man.
Like no, like I used to think of shit
Go
like
murder
that.
a cat.
You can like go hunting. You can just rip its heart out of its chest and like eat it raw. Oh, it's so
Raw.
meaty. You
This
have
is
to
the
eat
raw
fast, though.
commentary of the Genuine Podcast.
Genuine podcast,
Raw.
animal abuse, and talking about killing.
That's not animal abuse if it's already dying.
It's
But
already.
if you wounded it
You can't abuse a deer.
and then you cut its heart out when it's alive because you want some sadistic, like you're gonna get off on that, you sick fuck.
I guess that's like some people's reasoning with like certain kind of like the.
And then you know those people should kill themselves, like,
it's not abuse.
but
it's
they don't have
treated.
enough motivation to.
Yeah, you just need to go to China, and you can just they'll help you.
I don't know, man. It's like I wish I could be that motherfucker that was like torturing people for a living. Like they're like, we're bringing out the big guns for this one.
That's so
Mm.
badass. I bet you get a lot of
You're
chicks.
so edgy.
He's like, I just murdered a family. Girls are like, oh my god, that's so cool.
Took the baby, hunted it.
Out the window.
Don't even think I heard its name. I don't care. I shot them both after that. And then
I
after
killed
killing those-
everybody. I murdered
Yeah.
his entire family, and
You would
now he
probably
has
sadly
nothing.
Get a lot of hits
Yeah, they didn't do it.
on Tinder because these guys, a lot of
Hitman.
MGTOW guys do experiments and they'll be like, I just got off my bid for molesting, sexually penetrating 6-year-old or whatever, and they put like a total Chad in the
I
picture.
think that you would get flagged for that because if someone even asks you like something, they're like,
See, look, that right there, look at that.
they're like,
I can't kill this little poodle. There's no
Can't
way
kill it.
I will shoot this thing.
like someone will just be talking about something
I would
completely
fucking
normal, and Tinder's like,
blow
you want
it.
me to this guy? Like a dude will be like, yeah, and like say something like,
I'm gonna
oh,
follow this thing around.
I dropped my ice cream, and I was like, what the fuck? And it's like, we've detected bad language. If you want to report him, just let us know. And it's like, did he say anything bad? And it's like, yes or no. And you're like,
If you see something, say something.
it's like you wanted me to this guy. We're totally on your side, man. Like,
These
Yeah.
animals are anatomically correct. Not even in Cabela's where the fucking animals you shoot anatomically correct. You gotta give it to Rockstar. They go all out when they're trying to. They don't pull any punches with like, we're gonna immerse you in almost a realistic world, and then if you're a sick fuck and you want to murder things, you know that's on you, dude.
I love it when fat people fall. He's chasing you.
Oh, this dude's got some.
Oh, he got hands. He killed you. He's like, you gonna push me down? Laugh. They laughed at me. I laughed at their.
I'm nobody's victim. This is.
I'm nobody's
Nobody-
bitch.
Nobody is a bitch. The most hardest city that you could ever visit in all the video gamedom is Stillwater. Saints Row 2 era. You will get killed by old ladies in that city if you fucking act up.
I remember a character. He was a black dude with underwear and purple hair, but he had a girl's voice
Yeah.
and makeup.
You can make tranny bad bitches before trannies were all the rage in Saints Row and everything. You can make trannies in Saints Row.
Yeah, but it was more of like a joke, like, haha. Look at
Yeah,
this
it was like,
fucking
look
freak.
how
Look
insane
at what
you
a
are.
fucking freak you are.
Yeah, look at these freaks
Running around in a fucking diaper,
with a British accent and you're a woman.
black, but you're a dude. Body.
And now it's like slay it, queen. You get it?
Yeah. It's ridiculous. That's why I got banned on Facebook.
Wait, how'd you get banned on Facebook?
Because I said trannies are disgusting.
Oh, nice. They said, oh, you can't have an
Go on.
opinion. Just fucking ban.
You really can't anymore.
Yeah. Not on,
Social
trannies.
media, lefty
Not on,
social
you
media.
can have an opinion on white people and straight people.
Yeah, you
And
can say whatever
men.
the fuck you want about white people and men. And white men. Or
And
white
straight
men.
people. Straight
Yeah.
white women.
Or Asians, because right now Asians are going through a
Nah,
big...
Well, still, some people are like, that's so racist!
Yeah,
Yeah.
like right now with the coronavirus, the reason why shit is so bad, the reason why we didn't get it contained is because they were looking at it like, that's racist that you'd want to shut down the borders. That's racist that you'd look at it like Asian people maybe need to be looked at.
Or you just need to stay away from them for a little
Yeah,
bit.
you racist son of a bitch!
And then it's racist that you're like showing videos of them killing cats and being like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they'll tell white people all the livelong day, stop having kids, but they'll never tell Hispanics or Muslims or blacks like, hey, quit fucking.
God. What fuck? I don't know. I've never been told to stop having kids since I was white.
They're telling you. They want you dead.
Well, they don't really just straight say stop having kids. They just say like, if you just do what we say and then like, don't disagree with us and don't say the N-word.
Nigger.
So I guess with episode 1, Genuine
I-
Podcast is going to slip in and out of, this is video games, but everything's politics now, face it. If you can't handle that, get the fuck...
Well, video games are, well, they make video games political.
Yeah, everything is political now. It's everywhere, so I guess that's the show.
If you make a show about TV shows, you're gonna be talking about fucking politics.
Because we were talking about games, and we did talk about games a lot, but we did go off on a huge political tangent of like, yeah, man, trannies are gonna take over, and you're a transphobe if you don't want to fuck. If you don't want to fucking,
Yeah, I know, it's hard. You're like talking about games and then you like see
I
something
love
in a game.
Skyrim, and then you're like, but everything is fucking burning around us.
Yeah, well, I bet they're gonna make like some kind of SJW stuff in Skyrim.
Oh,
Anyway.
fucking Elder Scrolls 6, I don't have any hope for that game anymore at this point. If it's not,
It's gonna be like, we're all the chosen one.
yeah. If
We're
it's not
all
what they're doing
Dovahkiin.
with Fallout 76, which I imagine it will be because Bethesda wants that multiplayer battle royale money,
You're Dovahkiin because you're ethnic.
yeah. I am the Black Dovahkiin!
Well, you could be black in that game, but all the black chicks look like Rihanna. And they had like, fuck, I wanted to be a black chick, but like, they made their hair so ugly.
Yeah.
God, that sounds really
Their hair's so ugly. Oh.
It wasn't like long.
It wasn't white.
Straight.
It didn't look like me.
Every time I put it as blonde, it just looked kind of dark still. Just kidding though. But like, they just gave them weird hairstyles, like shaved ass heads, and like, they didn't have any like froze or like.
And for
you know,
anybody
nice
to
hair.
say that this is toxically masculine, or that this is my sister, motherfuckers. I have black friends. I just did that to
I
you.
have black friends. Oh.
It really doesn't matter. Like,
Oh, the cops are coming.
trust me. Like, if a black person says to an Asian that they're a chink, or calls a white person a fucking a
Oh
cracker.
man, Shane Gillis got canceled.
I've gotten more flack from white people than black people, with my opinions. Like, I know black people, but like, don't give a fuck. They're like, yeah, that's funny. Like,
I
laugh
get more flack from
at my
whites than
jokes.
blacks. They're on the attack.
The white people are like, how dare you say that about black people? You're white privilege. And I'm like, dude.
Live my life.
You are fucking white. You, like, own a mirror. Are you, like, delusional? Like, Eminem.
You're a white male.
Eminem's like, black boy, you've or he's like, white boy, you've never been indicted.
Oh yeah, we want to go off on everything like video games dying and movies and Hollywood. Eminem is a fucking faggot old man now.
Not even Eminem, he's an imposter.
Yeah, I hope they killed him.
Like,
I hope they
really-
murdered you, sincerely,
he is
because
dead.
that would have meant that you were like no one to fuck with, and you weren't gonna bow. So I hope you're
He is
rotting
dead.
somewhere.
Hope you're
Sincerely.
rolling in your grave.
Yeah.
Sincerely.
Sorry, that's the last outcome.
Because if this is you, then everything is a lie, and everything will let you down. And in the words of Handsome Jack, never meet your heroes, kid. They're all assholes, every last one.
Yeah. That is true though. All your heroes are assholes.
Any of you Zoomers, any of you
Well, they don't love you. They
kids
can't
out there,
love you.
whoever the fuck would maybe be listening to this, if you're losers like us and you got nothing better to do, don't ever fucking meet your heroes.
Well,
Don't
that's-
ever think that artists are anything but a bunch of communists. How do you think you get your art made other than to say yes to everything that goes along with the typical inner party parts of the world? And then you're gonna get the big check, and then you're gonna make Death Stranding and slap me in the fucking face.
Yeah, you can't be like a normal person and like actually like. If you're an artist, you're basically like, fuck my family, you know, like.
Yeah, you left them all behind. That's what you had to
If
do.
I starve and can't provide for anyone that helped me, and my parents have to go in a home because I wanted to be a rapper, then so be it. But maybe I'll get rich.
I'm being a rapper. I don't care if grandma got cancer. Fuck off.
Maybe I'll get rich, though. And then I can pay for them, but if not, then fuck it, you know.
Then everybody's gonna die.
At least I look kind of cool for a little bit
Yeah.
at a video.
Yeah.
Got not beef with that one person.
Punch Drake in the face at some music awards. You'd be done if you punched Drake, but you'd be legendary.
No, I don't feel like you'd be done. Because they didn't, like,
No, I
did
mean,
you see
he
that
would
video of
probably
him?
have somebody kill you.
Did you see that video of him bombing? Did I show you that? Like,
Yeah.
Tyler, the creator?
I don't doubt at all that Drake, because they always like,
Surprise
man,
headliner.
he's the nicest guy. It's like, you don't think somebody like that is
He's Canadian.
people to kill people?
No, he's Canadian.
Like,
Canadians are fucking evil, man.
He's a Jew. Let's not even get off on the glow-in-the-dark
And
stars.
he was also in Degrassi. He wasn't even a gangster. He was a fucking wheelchair
Started from
kid.
the bottom, now we here.
He's a
Actor
wheelchair
on
kid in Degrassi. He got shot
Canadian
by this, like,
television.
kid. He was just like a normal, like, preppy ass kid in Degrassi.
Somehow that's the bottom.
He was Jimmy in the wheelchair.
Nigga, that's the bottom.
He was like this pitiful, like, kid that got shot in the spine, paralyzed by this, like, it was like one of those episodes that's all serious, you know?
Feel
Like,
sorry for these fucking...
When it's like, oh shit, you know, like whenever Carlton got shot or something in Fresh Prince, or Will got
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah, whenever he takes that very special episode.
Yeah, that's like how it was whenever Drake got shot in Degrassi, and then he was like the wheelchair kid in the whole
The
show.
wheelchair kid.
He's like rolling around high school in a
Degrassi
wheelchair.
is way before your time. That's like the end and Noggin and fucking...
Degrassi,
Come
yeah,
on
it's
in,
like,
Zoom!
It's like a fucking show about high schoolers in Canada.
That's where Drake got his start at acting.
That's
Just
yeah.
being a fucking celebrity.
That's when I realized Canadians are different.
talks about
They say sorry.
started from the bottom,
Sorry.
but it's like, and everybody already presented that, so we're not going to go off on that because it's fucking, it's been trodden to death. This
Nick,
path,
man,
this
I mean,
topic.
I am Canadian, and I could tell you every Canadian I know. That's
Canadian?
yeah, every Canadian I know.
Talking
No, I am like I am.
You're Canadian?
Yeah,
Man,
no,
these fucking blacks, man,
Fucking-
coming over here
Their
to our
faces, like when they talk, it's like
Look.
they go in half. Instead
No,
of just the
every
normal
Canadian is
faces.
evil as fuck, man. Like they have
Good job,
all.
guy, buddy.
That's like anytime you're going off on people like, well, actually, I'm one of those people you're talking about.
Man,
No, not you, man. I meant those
Oh,
other,
no.
I meant
Oh,
those
no.
other queers.
Oh
we were
no,
just
fuck
talking
it.
about that scenario like yesterday.
Those other Terrence and Phillip fucking faggots.
Farting on each other,
You're my
No.
guy.
but it just smells like straight farts over there.
Yeah, you guys always farting on each other? Can you see through the back of your head, man? Do you have
Yeah.
a bag of milk in your fridge?
That one I never understood actually.
Put it in a fucking carton. Just
You guys have bag milk?
Yeah, they have milk bags. They don't have.
I don't know
cartons.
about that one.
Yeah.
I've never. No, we have carts. I've never actually. Whenever I was up in Canada, we used carts, and then when I came down to America, everyone was like, "Do you guys really put bags?" And I was like, "No, what the fuck? Like, what the
You
fuck
were
did that?"
Canadian on a gaming podcast, and
What do you guys eat? What do you guys call ham?
And you're not that Canadian, and this isn't that gaming podcast.
What do you guys call actual bacon?
Yeah, what is ham in Canada?
No, ham
Ham.
is Canadian bacon, but what do you guys call actual bacon?
Yeah, what's actual
Bacon, just bacon.
Why?
What's
Have some
Canadian
fun with it.
bacon?
Like no, cause there,
American ham.
cause the Canadian culture is not much different, from like America. Like there's a lot of.
Is there any warm beach places, or is it all just snowy, like?
Up where I lived, up in British Columbia, there's a beach there. But it's like, it's more like going to like a, yeah, I would say yes in some parts, but not in like the more north. Yeah, it's more like
sorry,
mafia
that was
type
just
shit
me.
though. It's more mafia
There's
type
no
shit from
black
what I've heard.
gangs?
No, there is.
Is there any?
There's a lot of.
names?
There's a lot of black people. I don't know enough about that. I've only lived up there till like I was in like the 3rd grade. I haven't been
It's
up there
like
in
in
so long.
Goodfellas when he's like, if they were wise guys, I wouldn't have heard a thing. I'd have been dead. But if they were Canadian gangsters, I would have heard.
I don't know.
So-
I heard like here's the thing is that like from what I know, and this is like from everybody I know that lives up in Canada too, is that basically we cause most of our problems secretly down in America, and no one really hears about it.
Well, your Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is going to cause you enough problems for the future of Canadians because they want to make it like what is truly Canadian, and you can bet if it's not a trans or a Muslim or a gay, get the fuck out.
So if you call someone like something they don't want to be called, do you get like a ticket?
Yeah, do you have speech laws there? I'm pretty sure in Canada they have like. Well, Ben doesn't live in Canada. He lives
Yeah, I don't live in.
North
Yeah, I
Carolina.
don't live in Canada anymore. I used to live up
Doxing
there.
us on the Genuine Podcast. We
Both
dox
your parents
ourselves.
Canadian?
Huh? My parents, yes, are. Yeah, my parents are full. I was adopted by my aunt and uncle though, because my mom was a crack addict.
In Canada?
Yeah.
They have.
You almost sound like that can happen in Canada. In Canada, you people are all fucking happy and.
Where's
living-
the like places that they do crack in Canada?
There was some good crack
No,
spots. Where did your mom die?
The whole thing about like so down south, like in the southern, it's more cocaine and like crack. In the north, it's more like psychedelics. That's what I've
What's
learned.
like a town that like there's like crackheads in? Like what's like the like, ghetto part
I've
of
heard
Canada?
that the worst crime is in
Ontario.
yeah, Ontario. That's where the worst crime is. Like crime is
just sounds
fucking
so
up the
white.
ass.
Yeah.
That it
Ontario
doesn't sound
and-
like a ghetto place. Like all of them just sound like just.
Well,
Oh,
that's what Living
no.
Life with Derek was.
That's
Do you remember
that's the
show
reason
Living
why
Life with Derek?
That's the reason why Canadians are the shittiest people is because we make ourselves seem so polite and innocent when we're really the biggest fucking assholes out there. That's the whole reason why, like, everything, like if you think about Canada, you never would think about them as some fucking evil people, right?
Yeah, well, I kind of don't like them.
I think about you people
Now
as
I
having.
do.
When I realized how many of you motherfuckers were coming
You
over here and
think about
subverting
them
our
as, like,
country,
harmless.
I really don't. I used to not give a shit about Canadians, but now with all the fucking Lauren Southerns and the Stephen Crowders and the Gavin McInneses and the goddamn Stefan Molyneux and fucking Jordan Petersons and fucking like they need to stop
I just
coming over
never,
here
like,
and
know.
trying to get involved in our fucking
When
political
they're
processes.
Canadian, they're so good at like disguising as not.
Yeah.
A lot of people
Yeah.
accuse Canada of you're a culture, you're a country with no culture. Like you're Canada.
You don't have
Yeah.
a lot of references
You're like
for Canada.
You're like America's little brother. You're like when the little brother.
Yeah,
is
like
struggling
I'm
to
pretty
find
sure when
fucking
you
identity.
go
like in
through
the shadow of
history,
America.
like I don't even think we like history was even like a very well learned topic about there because Damn, I just said a.
Thing about
Holy
Canada.
shit.
Like,
No, and the whole thing
Americans
about a
don't give shit
Canadian.
about Canada.
who the fuck
Yeah.
founded Canada? Like, didn't we find America? Like, and make it America?
It's
No.
pretty much just what did somebody say? They said
When was Canada made?
But the whole thing about Canadian like the culture and stuff is that shit doesn't happen till you're older. Like when I hit my 20s, I'm gonna start talking like a boot and all shit like that. Like right now, I don't talk like that because I'm young. But
when you're
later,
gonna go get some hoagies and soakers down at the Wawa.
yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
I used to say sorry a lot actually. I used to. But I've kind of steered away from that as people kind
People
of.
kick your ass.
You just
Yeah.
pronounce it funny. Like, sorry.
So you got it beaten out of you like most foreign exchange kids. You talk funny, faggot.
No, I never really talked like.
Canadian boy.
Like a lot of
There
people
was a
didn't even
Chinese
know I
kid
was Canadian to
At our
like.
school in
tell
Paducah, and he
him.
just made us all look stupid. He was doing math. There was like, dude, his
The-
math was like, you guys were doing this in 4th grade, and he's like, yeah, you're all very dumb.
And he's like, I don't know why.
I think his name was Wo Ping. I'm not making it up.
Yeah, but that's because in China,
That sounds like a
there's so
dance
many people
craze.
that there's everything's a
Everybody's doing-
competition.
Everybody Wo Ping tonight.
And what I'm starting to realize is like things like that. Like if you live up in like Japan and there's that big competition, like that, no wonder manga and stuff and like there's so many things to distract you in Japan because because that's the goal of Japanese shit is that they're trying to make the dumb people the consumers and they're trying their best to do it because from what I seem to notice about everything about Japan, like I've never been there, but there's so much. It seems like
You don't
there's
think?
more stuff to distract yourself in Japan than there is to fucking do in like
Dude,
let's
they
say.
have used panties vending machines. Like everybody always goes to that one, but I mean, yeah, that's a hell of a distraction.
Oh yeah, didn't we used to like play terrorist on this and see how many people we could kill at once?
Yeah.
Damn it.
No, but like I'm pretty like every country's fucked up if you really look at it, but it's more what they're fucked up for. Like some countries you'll never hear about, but they have power in like other places. I could tell you
I
though
used to
right
feel
now.
bad.
I could tell you
Now
right
that I
now
know
though
this is
that that there's some evil ass Canadians out there that you would never think are evil because they will act
I'm sorry,
nice
that
to you.
sounds like an oxymoron. Evil Canadians.
Like you can even
That'd be
ask
scary if
like
your bus driver got shot and then you're just stranded on this bus.
Oh yeah, dude,
Oh,
I
you-
guarantee you there's a lot of billionaire Canadian pedophiles, just as much as there's billionaire Saudis and billionaire
Fuck.
fucking.
Shit.
yeah, the whole thing about it's a lot of natives up there though. I can tell you that like it's a lot more natives because a lot of the natives got pushed out of America.
Not where we are, man. We are in the fucking in New Mexico. It is. We got the res. We grew up around natives, man. Deadly son.
Like it's very more like a bunch of.
Skoda.
Plus also the other thing is there's not a lot of
Yeah.
black people because black people don't like the
Our natives are
cold.
Southwestern natives.
There's like all different natives on every different reservation. Like they have different like, but they all are like native type shit. But like I was watching this one and this guy like, he was like, this is my voice 1 week on the res, and he like had normal hair, and then like he was like, this is my voice fucking 10 days on, or 2 days on the res, and then he was like, fucking. This is my voice 2 days on the res, and his hair is a little longer, and then he like comes in a white beater. He's like, this is my voice like 1 week on the res. Nice, like something like he said some weird like shit, but it wasn't like Ruidoso res
Yeah.
people.
How
Yeah,
long on this one have we been
These
going?
hobos are like
Probably
what
like an
the
hour.
fuck?
but I'll check. But
I'm just trying
I
to
think
get a
we should go
meal.
for a little bit longer. I'm not really too worried about it. I'm having fun on here. Let's check. Fun on here? Okay, an hour 16. We've been going for an hour and
You guys have more
16.
sadistic things that you do in games.
Yeah,
You're
I
like,
mean-
why the fuck?
forgot that I'm not that good.
I mean, like, I like tying shit up, you know, like, I like fucking, like, I don't know, I like ripping limbs off
BTK
people.
over here.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, if you tie a chick up in Red Dead Redemption, the first one, and you put her on the train tracks.
Like those old westerns. You'll never stop me, Lone Ranger!
It's funny when you pull out your
Except when
lasso.
she actually gets hit by the train, it's not like an old western, she gets fucking mulched. And then you, as the agency of like, God,
She does.
why did I do that?
I just remember when you pull your lasso out, everyone starts screaming like you fucking are shooting a gun.
Yeah, yeah.
If you start like
If you take out a rope, people are like,
everyone's like diving under tables and shit. They're like, oh my god, he's got a lasso.
head for the hills!
All these fucking like cowboy like men are like,
He's got a rope!
holy shit, he's gonna lasso some.
He's gonna
But
tie
also
somebody
the
up!
whole thing about like a country and privilege, because a lot of people talk about privilege. The only way your race is gonna have privilege is if you're the founders of that country. Like if your race, like that's why in Africa.
Yeah, you'd think that. Because Europeans founded this country by, for, and built for, by Europeans, and it's pretty much like we're the fucking worst of the worst now because we're the only people, and we're not. But if you go by the main narrative,
Well, I know,
white people
but
are the only people to ever enslave anyone, so fuck them. They deserve everything that's coming to them.
No, like yeah, but that's the thing. Like in Mexico, Mexican, there is like you know, like there is no white, you know,
But
like
yeah, but it is an everyone has American privilege. It doesn't matter what color you are.
Yeah.
We're all Americans. Like, technically, we're all Native Americans when you think about it, because it's your native country, and like, think about the definition of the word, like, native. It just
Yeah.
means, like, somewhere that you're native to, like the native plants of an area, or like the ones that just grow there, like, that they're, like, they came from seeds of other plants of that area, so.
yeah.
I mean, because Native Americans, like, some of them don't like to be called Native Americans because whatever country it was, when they were the ones that, like, ran this shit, like, they didn't call it America, so that's, like, our invention. That's like if some people came over here and, like, named your country a different name, and then they called you, like, Native freaking whatever
Yeah.
they name it.
Well, I don't mean it exactly like that. Like it is obviously the most powerful of the powerfulest. That get that,
What is-
but like to
You're saying
have
America is?
privilege. No, like in anything, it's always gonna be the most powerful that's gonna have the privilege of anything.
Yeah, just the people with money. And
Yeah, like, cause there are some people out there that are born as fucking princes that will have, you know, they're like Muslim, you know, and
like, bad people are, like, the most powerful, because, like, to get powerful, you just have to be willing to do what other people won't.
Crush
yeah.
people,
Like, you just have to
hurt
be, like,
people,
take,
betray people, manipulate people,
Yeah.
like, take stuff, yeah,
kill people,
steal.
Like, I
lie,
mean, like-
deceive.
Like if you were to sign a contract for $1 million right now, but somebody's gonna get their fucking dick cut off or fucking head cut off, would you do
I mean,
it?
it depends who.
If it's
No,
tranny,
like, you
yeah,
won't
I'm
know
signing that
who.
fucking contract.
Like you don't know who.
It's like, somebody.
Like it could be your family for all you know.
Are they gonna give the $1 million to somebody else and still cut his dick off? Because if they are, then, like, I mean, they're gonna do it. At least.
You're gonna do it.
Someone's gonna take that $1 million.
Someone's getting their dick cut off.
Someone's taking the $1 million and someone's getting their dick cut off. Like, at some point. Like, if they're just going around offering, like, people until someone accepts it, then
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, so, are you gonna ask someone else?
If I don't cut this man's dick off, someone else will.
Yeah, I mean,
That's the whole
Yeah.
mentality that gets us into everything.
I mean, like, they already have him somewhere, like, in a fucking chair with the fucking blade ready to go. So,
If I don't embezzle all this money from the company, that asshole in accounting will.
I don't feel like they're gonna let him free if I say no. I feel like they're like, okay, she didn't take the money. But it's a theoretical hypothetical arguments, so they could be just like, okay, never mind.
Yeah, I
There you
mean,
go. But if he went there to like, on like his own will, then I mean, sure, why not? If he's like, let's do this experiment and see if it works. Like, I mean,
well, I mean, like, who knows? Like, if someone does, if I'm signing a contract, fuck it.
or
Like,
if it's just like a
but I mean,
gloriable-
people turn that around you and make it like, what if you were the one that was dying? Well, fuck.
I'm the motherfucker getting $1 million.
Well, if I was the one that was dying, I'm pretty sure that I would be like, damn, I don't think they're gonna let me go, even if this person doesn't accept it.
Yeah, these people kidnapped me, and now I'm like,
Yeah, they have.
How
like,
did I get
dick
here? You're
strapped
gonna
to
what?
a table and they jack you up with cocaine and Viagra.
Yeah, like, it's very much.
Well, I wouldn't be that worried because I don't have a dick, so. They're like, we're gonna cut her dick off. And I'm like,
Just fucking be like.
they're like, oh shit. She was already neutered.
Already happened.
I'm like, too late.
I haven't driven like this since I've actually started driving.
But I would still be scared in that situation because, like, it'd probably be like a psycho who thinks you have a dick and wants to cut it off, and then, like, when they find out you don't have a dick, they're just gonna, like, do something else. Cut off your boob,
Yeah.
shoot you, bake you in an oven.
Goddamn big. Can you get in the oven real quick? I remember that from a movie.
They could,
It's like-
like, if they have you, like, in a place and they could strap your dick to a table, I'm sure they could, like, tranquilize you, throw you in a big ass.
Be like the fucking Outlast while you're watching the Saw come at you.
The Saw? Yeah, oh, fuck.
It sounds like it's all from Saw.
Would I watch it?
No, like you're on the
I
Saw board
would
and you're
not.
just watching yourself basically get cut in half.
Oh, fuck. I probably wouldn't watch it. I'd probably be looking all around and screaming in pain. You're like, I want to see! It's already, like, going in your ass crack.
I mean, yeah.
I wouldn't be able to, like, just, like, lean my head up and watch. I would just be, like,
What's that gonna do?
like, gasping and, like, looking around. Like, I wouldn't be able to control my eyeballs, I'm sure. I wouldn't be, like, focusing on the fucking
Yeah,
blade
so
going
you'd
at
be-
me. You'd be, like, having a seizure.
A raving
like,
animal, a lunatic, just like,
Yeah, you'd probably be, like, alive for, like, 3 seconds.
look, I have a grenade.
Fuck. I'm too high to talk about getting sawed in half because I'm starting to feel pain. Like, I feel like...
I know, right? Because like, I'd probably be just like inconsolable. I'd probably just.
Yeah, ow.
I mean, next thing you know, next thing you know.
Talking to some kid about video games.
Yep.
Because it's all a game, and we're all gonna die. And if God is the kid that does sick shit to us in those games, what are you worried about?
Yeah.
Still not watched the Pillow episode?
No, I've seen it. You showed it to me.
Like I feel like the only part that scares me is if like the egg theory is real, is what about all the lives where you live that excruciating pain?
Well, but you don't feel it anymore.
Yeah, it's gone. It's gone just like that. That's what I think about. I'm like,
That's why, like,
but then
Yeah.
would it be as real as like if somebody kidnapped you right after we did the podcast,
but
Ben,
it's realistic
and
'cause
tortured
it's,
you
like, God is
all
merciful.
night tonight and then killed you early tomorrow morning? Would it be as real as the many times you've probably been tortured and murdered?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah, 'cause it's
is
happening
this,
to me right
is
fucking
this
now.
life that you think you'll miss any more important than the other lives that you
That
thought
you
you
don't,
would miss?
yeah, that are now
Like,
gone.
imagine, like, you had, like, you should watch the Pillow episode of Adventure Time. It's good.
Nice.
Like, he, like, goes into a pillow fort, and, like...
But if it's like the egg, who takes over your place? Who plays Ben after, like, you know how if you choose a character and then somebody else has to, like when you go into a lobby in a multiplayer game, and if you're a certain type
No,
of
it's
class,
all you.
nobody else can be that class.
It's all you. Everyone's you.
Well then, so you're me right now and I'm you,
Yeah.
and we're Ben.
In different lives.
Yeah.
And
But then
every bad thing you do to yourself.
But
and
then
every
when the fuck are
act
we ever gonna
of
go
kindness-
and finish the egg shit and
What
go
he said,
do the?
He said once you've lived every human life possible.
So then we have, because
then
everybody's alive right now.
you're
Everybody
God.
has already been
Then-
alive.
But the consciousness that you think has to still go through. It, but yeah, so you already are God in a different life.
Yeah, so we're God right now. We already made this shit.
But in a different life.
In a different life, yeah, so you're never gonna know.
Well, once you die, then you're gonna go to a different life and be closer to being
That's
God.
that's what John Wayne Gacy is gonna tell you in the life where you're the little boy that he abducted and he
No,
puts a
but,
glass
like,
rod
the
in your
egg-
dick
the egg is,
and
like-
breaks it.
Tries to but no,
He's
the egg
gonna
is
tell
more
you,
like
in
doing
another
unto
life, you're
others.
having a really good life right now.
No, it's like doing to others as you would do unto yourself. Like,
John Wayne
Because it
Gacy is
is
gonna
you.
rape you.
if you don't want to be raped or die, then don't ever rape or kill someone.
He's gonna pick you up as a clown and he's gonna put a glass rod in your dick.
Or just, if you want less of a chance for you to fucking die or have
Ben,
any
you are
harm
going
to
to
you, then don't
fucking-
do harm.
You're gonna
It's like a statistics thing.
murder millions of Chinese in the I think it was either the 40s or the 50s, as Mao in communist China. You're gonna have the highest body count ever.
Now,
Yeah.
I thought it was that one guy.
Pinochet? No, that's a different
No.
guy.
Fucking dude that, like, Genghis Khan.
Oh no, Chairman, you're gonna do some shit. We're some sick fucks, and we're gonna be rich. You're gonna be the guy that got to fucking.
But that's what it's like about. It's like every like crime against.
I mean, that's why I love video games, because it allows me to kind of exercise that in my current life. It's like you turn it on, you're
You
instantly
live
like,
that
in this
life.
game, I'm Link, and I'm running through an enchanted forest in a world forgotten by time with a sword and a shield. In this game, I'm a nobody, and I'm in The Sims, and I'm raising myself up from nothing in the ghetto, and I'm gonna get a nice house, I'm gonna get a good
if
job.
germs
And
didn't exist, then Hobo fucking chance would be so.
I know, right? In video games, it makes you look at things without like, we're not here. Like, yeah, in a
It
game,
doesn't
you can
smell like ass
you
crack.
can walk through a hobo camp, and you can just see the aesthetic of it.
You want to sit on the couch.
Yeah. But I guess you're really
You're
not
like, this
seeing.
is fucking awesome. This is like so realistic. Look at this rat like running around. They're like shooting up needles over there.
As the
That's like-
cops come by.
That's like someone's mom like coming by. Like, I thought you were gonna come home. And
Yeah. There's somebody giving a really graphic blowjob that you can see, and you're just like, this is wrong. Why the fuck am I here? But in a game, you can walk down a crack avenue on.
you can see like all the hair
Sunset
coming off
Strip.
their chin.
Yeah. And you can see like the pubes on that dude's dick, and you're just like, this is wrong. This is all fucked.
Whoa.
Again, if
You know,
you're a
that-
Zoomer,
That was kind of gay.
and you're listening to this,
You
and
see
your
the
parents
pubes
don't
on that
know,
guy's dick?
it's not my fucking fault, faggot, that you don't have parents that give a fuck about you and would let you listen to someone like me or my sister. There's probably Zoomers listening to this, is what I'm saying. There's children listening to us as we're going off on like, yeah, you know, John Wayne Gacy's gonna stick a glass rod in your dick, man. You ready for that?
Oh,
It's the egg. We're
It's
back with the egg. I'm
man.
Hitler.
I'm Hitler. I'm fucking all the oppressed Jews. I'm the Jews
Get in the
that
shower.
stole everything from everyone. I'm
It
fucking.
says in the egg, it says you're everyone. You're like the people that got killed. You're the people that killed, and like you felt every like good thing that you could ever feel. Like that
You
anyone
felt
ever
all the
felt.
worst
Also felt
things.
All the pain that everybody's ever felt.
Yeah, but think about all the good things, man. Like
There
stuff
is
you're
a
never
lot
gonna
of
feel
good
in this life.
things.
That's like, but again, you
But
think about
also,
like, it's
is
a
it
stupid mind
is
fuck
it because we know
we
about the
already had
egg?
that stuff.
Is it that we know about the egg though that makes us closer to being done with the egg?
No.
No.
I don't know.
Forget.
Because how would we know?
about how
But
many
no,
times
how
you've
would we
already
know
forgot?
about it in
How
the
many
first
times-
place?
But there's some people like, what if you become like a fucking like your last life is like somebody that didn't have internet and was just living on like a fucking little village place in like the olden times, you know?
Like the
What if-
first when.
Fuck your goats.
Ugh, I'm a fucking tranny. Damn it.
Yeah. You're Hillary Clinton.
Ugh.
You're
Bill
Alexandria
Clinton wearing a damn
Ocasio-Cortez.
dress. But it also teaches you to be humble, because you're like, wow,
Don't think you're so
I'm
great.
fucked.
Yeah. You're all
But is
gonna
that
die.
just is that story just a way to make people feel humble? And not in that none of that's
Maybe-
even
Maybe
real.
it's
A lot of
just a
people
way
would
to
say
make
that
people
story
feel
is
okay
just-
about being a piece of shit.
Existentialist, label it fucking solipsistic.
But it
liberal
makes
garbage.
I
sense.
think it's
But
just
it makes
like a
sense.
philosophical, like,
So do I.
theory. I just think of it as a theory.
I think people that think it's scary or that they're like, that's stupid.
I don't-
Jesus will. It's like you're scared because you think it might be
I
true.
don't definitely believe
You're
that.
scared
I don't
'cause
definitely
you-
think that.
believe more than other things, but it's still
I think
like,
it's just as liable as space or
I could
some
always be wrong about anything.
fucking kid playing a game where he's like, what's coronavirus? I haven't done that yet.
They're all the kids that got like.
oh, dude, shit! Oh my god, my game! I can't reload it. Fuck! Damn it!
Yeah, that's why I have the scariest nightmares.
I don't know. A lot of people have told me if there is a god, he's probably dead. But how? I don't really understand
What if I
that.
told
We probably
you
just
I did
gave
all
up.
that to make
We're
you
just like some like pile of trash experiment
you're
that
a
he
sick
did, and it's like
bastard.
sitting in the corner of his room, and he's like, "Oh yeah, Earth." I remember when I was like 5, I like made that.
when I was into that,
Like, made that
stupid
shit.
shit. Yeah, like
Kinda-
a god.
kind
that
of
would be
going
a
to
level.
shit now. I haven't really played with it much. It's all dusty and like
Yeah.
broken. My dog chewed the side of
But
it.
that's what a god can do.
He's like, "Oh well." I feel like,
Oh,
you know, I might fuck with it.
I
Sometime.
might play with it again someday. Probably not.
It's just cool to have. I might give it to my kid or something.
I turn it on and I'm just so bored. Every time I turn it on, every time I go back to the humans and I go back to life, it's so boring.
He's like already made like a way crazier world than that.
Yeah,
They couldn't even understand it.
I've seen better.
yeah.
When
it's
to
like when
us
you go
it's
back to old
like-
games.
W-
Like right
into
now, I'm
us,
bored out of
it's
my mind
like
playing Grand Theft Auto. I'm running into cars. I want to die.
into us, it's like fucking crazy. Like all the people, like let's say when you
This
turn
game-
off Grand Theft Auto, the characters in the game are like back to a normal life of somebody's running down the street. Oh, another car stolen today. Like
Their life would be so boring.
Yeah, how boring their life is
They don't
without
ever
this.
do anything. They never
without
party.
you?
They never party. They
That
never
guy's
go-
murdering people.
They never have like a birthday.
The player has returned.
They don't even have names most of the time.
So you should think about that, dude. If it's a game and you're involved in a fucking shooting, like if I'm at Walmart, and there's a guy trying to kill us. I'm almost gonna be like, I mean, I'm gonna be scared out of my fucking mind. We're gonna die. But like, could you bring yourself to be like, is that a player? Is
Imagine if you went to hell and then you just like appeared and then like you look like one of the other people that looked like you, and then you saw a guy like this running around. And you just get shot, and then the days when he's not there, you just drive back.
I
and
don't know.
forth.
Once I had
You
like a
just drive
breakthrough.
walk up and down? smoking
Once I had
cigarette,
a
doesn't make you
breakthrough, like I was really high off shrooms, and I had like a little
You
breakthrough,
hope it like
and I looked up at the sky, and I could see lines through the sky, almost like a simulation. But you know, like when
oh yeah, I've had that a lot before.
and
Yeah,
like
that's like how my nightmares are.
yeah, no, and I looked up at the sky, and then like this little wave of knowledge came into me, and it's like, and it was like, there are real people, but it's like there's so little of them. So like for every area you live in, there's only like
Black Steve.
basically like as you move around and like as you go from place to place, I don't know. It's very complicated, but
Pops in.
it's very complicated to be honest
Like
with you.
generates itself.
Well, if this is a simulation, there's actually some people believe that they theorize. You know how whenever you're like, I just had that thing, fucking like, and you lose something, you know, and you just had it, like you
Yeah.
didn't even move out of the room. Some people
Yeah.
believe that if this is a simulation, just like in a game, that sometimes when it's constantly loading in frame by frame by frame by frame by frame, something will get forgotten in the simulation, and so it has to reload the frame, and it's unbeknownst to you, but then you find it and you're like, oh, there it is.
That's also why, like, a lot of people think, like, oh, if you think the world is flat, then you think there's a dome. But actually, like, you could think it's a simulation.
Like a game. An
Like,
endless plane, just like a
like,
skybox, just
if
like.
you were to make a game about like a place, like all the video game maps are flat.
And if you think
Because,
about
like,
it, you'll never really get to know if the Earth is really flat, cause
never
you'll
affect your
never
life one way or
unless you
the other,
go
so why not
into
question
unless
it?
you go into a boat and you travel the seven seas and you go from
One thing you will
Hawaii.
get to know for sure, though, and if anybody doesn't know this out there, is that NASA lost the footage to the moon landing. If we really did, in 1969, go to the fucking moon in what is like the equivalent of a coffee can, and they lost that, they deleted over it, they destroyed all the technology and the telemetry data to humanity's finest hour,
Yeah, how come we can't go back now? I mean,
you can believe that for sure.
we have smartphones, like we watch TV on our phones, like TV.
Like we can't go to the moon, but yet they say we can go to Mars.
Look at the video games we have.
Yeah, we can't go back and forth to the moon and like start doing experiments on the moon. and
Oh no,
shit.
they're actually supposedly about to establish a moon base in 2020.
Yeah,
Oh, after like 50
yeah.
years, they're like, we're gonna go back now.
After all you faggots are dead, they keep questioning us.
Like after all the people that already went there are basically dead, or like, are they dead now?
But no, isn't
Pretty
it
fucking
insane how
old.
like I just jackknifed my neck into a fucking windshield of these two black women because I'm so bored of Grand Theft Auto now. And at one time, this game was a bevy of interaction and dynamic gameplay, and like this is the best fucking Grand Theft Auto ever. But like now, I'm so bored that I'm just like running around doing random rampages and like getting like and just killing myself over and over and over. But like, you won't get so bored of this life that you're like, I'm just gonna fuck. I mean, some people do. But then you just fucking like, I'm just gonna go jump into traffic and break my neck.
Yeah.
But in this game, I'm so bored now that it's like all I'm doing is dying. It's like that is the death of a game, I think. Whenever you're just like you turn it on, it goes back to what we were saying about like if you're God and you're like, God, I'm not into Earth anymore, man. I'm not into life. Like I made it and now I'm done with it. Fuck
Yeah.
You sound like you're gonna kill yourself.
it. I know, right?
God, don't die, man. Oh my God.
I'm not gonna jump in front of traffic.
You're just gonna jump out of a plane, maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see.
You jump out of a plane and you parachute, and then you're in some country you've never even heard of.
I'm in
And they're
Los
like,
Santos.
who is this
I like
alien?
end up in a grand.
And
I end up in
the
a
whole
video game.
time, like, there's probably countries out there where they just see planes flying over them, where we probably have them all enslaved and shit. They're just like, what is that little metal thing? You know, like they never seem to question it. Or it's so high up in the sky that they never see it, like
And
how
it's even
you.
creepier in a game like The Egg, if this game was called The Egg, and in games when they get more and more advanced, like this guy, he looks just as detailed as some video game characters, as any video game character from, and like he's just a dead civilian in a Grand Theft Auto game. Like this could be you, in a shooting, in the event that you got eaten by a bear, in the, like.
I just feel so much happier if you're like just on like a game instead of like a fucking rock like flying through nothingness.
An empty void.
Full of what? Well, not even empty. Like it's full of other rocks.
Yeah, it's full of stuff that's gonna hit you one day.
It's full of like shit that's like twice your fucking size, and you're just flying around it. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, imagine that carnival ride. Imagine if you were on a carnival ride like that, like a smaller version of like what Earth is. And there's like rocks coming at you, and you're like spinning around on this like circle, or what it supposedly is. That would be fucking terrifying. And you're like connected to it by a magnet. There's not even any straps.
Yeah, that'd be
It's
scary.
like you might get hit, you might not. And you have to like sign a waiver that you might die.
And so either way, whether it's a game that somebody got bored of a long time ago, or whether it's a kid who plays this game and he's a sadistic little shit because he finds out that he can do something like, I can end the world, I'm so bored.
Yeah,
Fuck
I should
it.
make a Barbie video game.
Or whether it's like, it's not going to matter to us. You literally have to get a good job. You have to prepare for the winter. You have to service the taxpayer. I mean, the tax man.
Well, that's why they should make a Barbie video game.
Would you say?
Barbie's video game would be awesome.
Why?
Like Grand Theft Auto, but like just being a Barbie, like, because it would be so trippy looking. Because Barbie colors are just all like fucking bright and like crazy. It would look like you're on drugs. And like when you're playing with Barbies or action figures, your hands just always fuck it up. You can't like make them do what you actually
Video
want them to
games
do.
like Grand Theft Auto 5 to the extent that you don't even have to kill people to have a good time. There's a lot of gameplay beyond that. That's like the evolution of you as a kid playing with your action figures with your hands, but there is no more. You got the hands are gone.
Well, a Barbie video game would just make so much fucking money because kids these days like don't play with toys as much anymore.
Their toys are digital.
And also with all the LGBTQ stuff, it'd be big because it's a game about females.
They'd probably hate it because
And
it'd
it
be
would
about
also
Barbie,
be
a
something
white fucking
different.
beautiful. They'd probably
But
hate
you
it.
could like it would be like Barbies though. Like you could buy like your own Barbie in the shop and buy a Barbie that looks like you or whatever.
Oh, have you seen that now? They
But
have.
they're not Barbie. Barbie would be the like OG.
Have you seen they have a amputee Barbie? Now they have she's got like a prosthetic limb Barbie or whatever. And they've got wheelchair Barbie and they've got
Fat Barbie.
yeah,
Yeah,
Fat Barbie.
I remember I saw like this like it was a funny video a long ass time ago. I think Chris Crocker did it. The guy who was crying about Britney Spears. Yeah, he did a video and he was like, yeah, these are the new Barbies that they should come out with. And he was like, bulimic Barbie, with like a little throw up on her shirt, fat Barbie, like Kangles Barbie. It was like a whole joke thing. And this was by a dude that wears makeup and cries about Britney Spears and is a tranny. But he was
Leave
like,
Britney alone.
leave her alone, you bastards!
Early parts of the internet, kids.
Oh, have you seen Chris Crocker?
No, I don't know who that is.
We're old.
But also, I don't really. But also, like,
You're like,
I don't know. I don't really remember people by their names. Like whenever I watched
Have
a
you seen
movie,
that
I never
video
cared
of
for
a
like.
guy with
They
smeared...
spoof it all the time on like
Yeah,
different.
you
like,
probably.
Who did they spoof? Like who did that? Like a joke.
Hold on,
Like,
I'm
on
gonna
a
look
TV
it up.
show,
Leave Shia alone.
I think it was on Family Guy maybe. Didn't Peter
Yeah.
like leave her alone?
Yeah, he did a joke.
Yeah, he's like the gay guy. Like he's got makeup on, but it's like a dude. And this was back when trannies were like rare. You're like, oh, a tranny. And you're like, okay, well that's them, and they weren't like, you gotta call me what I want to be called. They would just fucking be like, I don't know. They were much cooler back then because they were like, yeah, I'm a freak.
How fucking cool though.
Like,
Again, going back to if you take a game
Not
and make it
caring.
like real life, it's no longer fun. But if you take a real life and make it like a game, you're like, well then why am I not having fun, dude? I'm immersed as hell.
that's why all the trannies from our generation
How
were
fucking cool would it
literally
be to have
like,
that one?
they still kept their normal name because they weren't like trying to fucking like make everyone else conform to them. They were just kind of like, you
They
know,
were doing them.
yeah, like, and a lot of the trannies would hang out around, like, homophobic, like, emo kids that would, like, say faggot and stuff, and, like, fucking, that's just how it
Yeah.
was. Like,
Now it's
everybody was mean to everybody.
Now everybody's so sensitive, and it's like they're trying to make the group bigger.
Yeah, it's so
They almost
weird
force
because, like,
kids.
The people that are, like, enforcing that are the ones, like, our age, like, raising their kids, and you're like, dude, I knew you in school, and you were the most intolerant, like, fucking unpolitically correct fuck. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden they're like, I love everyone, and you shouldn't say those things, and you're like, dude, if you go back and watch a video of our rap battle, you're gonna be, like, hate yourself. Or, like, I saw this, like, leftist meme, it was like, they're like, oh yeah, this movie, like, is actually pretty bad, why do we used to like it, or something like that. They're like, it's sexist, and it's just because it was popular to just be like that back then, and then whenever it became popular to, like, be all, like, goody-goody and, like, not offend anyone, make anyone cry, like, then
Yeah.
everyone just changes their morals. They're just like, oh, that's
Yeah.
not, I don't like that anymore because everybody else doesn't like it.
I changed my
Like,
morals
like,
because I used to be very into like sensitive. I used to be a very sensitive person, but then I realized that my sensitivity made it so I never stood up for myself, and I just kept getting pushed around. So
yeah, that's how I was too. I was like a little SJW, like, straight, like, oh my god. If I met, like, you always, like, imagine, like, when you're a kid, you're like, what if myself from the future, like, came to me and, like, I want to like do a movie where like
They beat the shit.
where you like see yourself from the future and you're like, holy shit, that's me from the future, and they just walk up to you without even saying anything and just like sock you in the fucking face and start beating the shit out of you.
You instantly have the black eyes forming on your face as you're beating the shit out of yourself.
And you're like, no, you wouldn't. Maybe you would
Well,
have like
no,
little bumps
because
on
the
your-
truth, because time travel is really believed, is that when you go back and let's say you killed yourself, then you would still exist because you would have to exist. So if
Oh,
I
yeah,
went
you'd
back,
have
You
a-
just get home, Mom.
no,
You murder yourself like your small childhood self, and then you're still in that timeline. Now you're you. You'd have to come home like, and Mom would be like, "What the fuck?" Like you're like 30, 20 years older because you murdered
Well, you
yourself.
gotta go back to your house and be like, I just killed me as a kid, but I'm your kid from the future, so I'm still alive. But
They
Well,
probably,
not in your
also,
timeline.
no,
I gotta
but-
go back to my own timeline because my mom's gonna worry about
well,
me.
no, because once you like, let's
So your
say
son's
there is one
I
like
killed me.
when it comes to time travel, I only believe in one person, and his name's like John some shit. I don't know. But basically, he said that if you went to go kill yourself, then
That's
your
what makes us all-
timeline would completely change, and you could never go back to your old timeline. But you would then live a new timeline. It creates a new timeline. Your timeline that you lived in, that you just killed yourself in, is now a timeline without you.
So then you would just die.
Yeah.
You killed yourself. But
No.
then
No.
wouldn't-
You.
But then you wouldn't be alive to kill
No,
yourself.
you'd be in a new
so-
you'd be in a new timeline. You'd be in the timeline without you, but that would create alternate, almost like you're going into a new dimension.
Yeah, but then that would have never happened.
That depends on
in
which
that
kind
other
of time travel
timeline,
you're dealing with. If you're
Because
dealing
you
with
wouldn't.
closed loop time travel, or if you're dealing with cyclical time travel, or if you're dealing with
Interdimensional.
Philip K. Dick type
No,
shit,
like there's no
going
way
on
to have
all at once.
to have a paradox because it'd be like it's more dimensional.
Yeah,
Like you would go into an alternate timeline.
Yeah, you would just kill the version of yourself in that timeline, and it wouldn't actually be you.
Yeah.
And like,
Like
but
yes,
then you could still go back to your timeline because that wouldn't even be your timeline.
maybe.
Then there would be no timelines. You would just be like a vessel.
Time is
Soma's
very
cool, so I think,
is
like,
very
Have you played
fuckery,
Soma?
you know, because
Yeah.
it's
Soma is one of the most mindfuck.
Yeah, have you played Soma?
yeah, I played some of it, not all of it. Is it the horror game?
Soma of it. That was a pun.
Is it the horror
Played
game?
Soma of it?
Yeah, the one where you're underwater.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's a
played some of
brilliant
that.
fucking thing, yeah. Very existentialist, very like, where are we seated in the terms of consciousness? What are we? What makes, like,
Well, like, what happened? Like, you like every time you like killed yourself or died, or you like went into, you like traveled, but then that other person still stayed there and died.
yeah, well, at the end, he fucking
You
puts
went
his
into the
consciousness
other-
on the arc, and it shoots off
Oh,
out
you,
of the scene
yeah.
into
Every time
space.
you switch your consciousness into another thing, like at the end, you find out that like your
You're still
consciousness
conscious
never left that other thing that was like in that fucked up situation,
Yeah.
dying.
It's still conscious.
Like it's there, it's like stuck
It's
there
still
for
consciousness.
eternity, or like it actually died. Like you didn't escape your fate. Like
You did, but you didn't. Like, yeah, because he's like, yeah, Catherine, as you're shooting the
Like,
fucking
it's
arc
like
out
if
of.
you were to put your robot goes on and like survives and shit, but then you're still stuck there and you have to like die. Like you're still in your same body too. You just like copied your consciousness, but the version
Yeah.
of you that you copied it from is still fucked.
Yeah.
That's like some Rick and Morty shit right there.
Yeah. How long
It's
have we
more
been
like-
running this for? Let's see how long we've been running.
Yo, is that Siege?
YouTube.
It's been about 2 hours. You guys want to wrap this up?
Yeah, this has been Genuine Podcast with 8-Bit Legit, my
Yeah.
sister Bailey.
And Ben. My co-host 8, I'm the host Ben, and
But
thank you all
if
for
want
listening.
halfway.
Forest, Rainbow Six Siege.